customize, it's easy to customize everything and exactly how you want it for your students. And I will show you some of the things. And also, I'm going to give you this little slideshow, and all of these have a link. So this is some activities for spelling. For example, this is the floss rule here. Let me open that up. And this is on Canva. And so my students, we'll talk about the floss rule. I'll have them repeat it. And then we have a little activity here. This obviously wasn't lesson ready, but you would have it lesson ready for them, and they would just put the correct letter or letters in the blank, and then they can also repeat the rule just for just for just to help them remember that rule. And this is level 2. And it's really easy to make these. If you want to go up here where it says duplicate page, or you can go here to add a page. And if you want to duplicate it, you just duplicate it, and then you can easily change the word. You can change these. Actually, what I did was I actually screenshotted that. So I would just make like an S, and then I took a screenshot, and then I just pulled it in here. It's very easy to do that. Or you can go over here to upload, and you can upload files from your where that goes, probably to your desktop. So that's what I did with actually the F and the FF. Yeah. So those were screenshots. And this will be fully editable whenever you get it. So you can do whatever you want with it. So let me go on back to, and this is the doubling rule. I do a lot of spelling. These are just quick introduction activities. You can do one of these at each lesson. After my students learn the doubling rule in level 3, we do this at every lesson for a long time. And what I do is I would duplicate the page so that you always have what you already made. You can easily change the words here, the suffixes. And then I always have them with a dot here, because if you don't have anything there, then it goes away completely. And then you don't have any, you have to go over here to text, and it just takes a little bit longer. So I always have the dot there. And up here at the very top, this back arrow is the undo, and you can undo so it comes right back. And my students, they use Canva with me all the time, so they're very familiar with the dot there. Sometimes they'll delete it, but usually they don't care. It doesn't bother them, and they'll just write the word with the suffix. Yeah, and then on the lesson plan, I'll put doubling rule, Canva, page 1, and so forth, like that. So then let's see, tic-tac-toe. This is level 1, but you can do it with any level. My students love this, and it's let's see, I was doing this yesterday. So what they do is I actually have the K or the C in the correct place for them. You can have a blank there, but I find they pick up the rule just as easily, and they just seeing it there for them already, I just think it makes it a little bit nicer for them. They don't have to put the K or the C in. And then they can come over here to tools, and they can pick whatever color they want for their X or their O. I always let them pick which one they want. I always let my students go first, and then they would just say, they would read it scrap, and they would say an initial or medial position, C before A, O, U, or a consonant, like that. So they're just saying the rule over and over as they do this. They don't really realize it, but they pick it up. My students don't have any problem with that rule. So, and again, this is another one that I'm going to give to you. See, initial blends, vocabulary. This is on word wall. And this is just something that I did for a student. It's just, and over here, there's a little icon here where you can turn the sound effects on. I always make sure the timer is on none. Make sure, sometimes they'll give you a speed. I make sure that's as slow as possible if there is a speed. Apply to this activity, then you can start. So this is the word brig. And so we just talk about the meaning of brig. And then this is actually hangman. So they would spell it. You have to know your student. I have one student, it was actually Jonathan, and we haven't played this in a long time, but he would do every single letter to try to, so it took a long time. And I'm like, okay, this is not exactly what I expected. But so this is fret. And so I made these, I just went to Canva and I made a square. I put a little frame around it and I looked for the word worry and I came up, this picture came up, so I used it. And then stag, same with that. And you can edit the content here. And you can also find pictures on WordWall that you may have already seen those. You can easily find pictures on WordWall as well. So let me go back here. This is just a screenshot of Boom Learning, one of the activities I made. I don't know if you'll be able to access it. So I'm sorry about that. If you can't, I think you have to create an account, but this is my Boom Learning. Let's see here. So you've got my library here. This is all of the things that I've purchased. I've also got self-published activities that I've made myself. And the problem with the ones that I purchase, there's always something that I don't like about them. So I have found that making them myself is just as easy to do on Canva. You can make them on here, but it takes so much time. It's so time consuming. So as you can see, I don't have that many activities that I've made, and I would just prefer to make them on Canva. I'll just show you one really quick. Let me see what this one is. This is just spelling, and they would just put that there, hit submit like that, and go to the next one. Yeah, so that is it. All right, so now let me go on down to reading. So for reading,
Paige,
yes.
you want to tell them that this is not just the spelling, it's just like a warm up or for verbal expression, but you do the spelling separately.
Yeah, this is just a little activity that I might do like at the very beginning of the lesson for the intro or for verbal expression. But it doesn't take the place of the handwritten spelling. Yeah. All right, none of that. Yeah, all of that I just do for little extras. And then for reading, let's see. And if you guys have any questions, please stop me as I'm going along. So let's see, word wall for digraphs. This is just a little word sort. So I have one student, whenever she's learning a new concept, she gets very tired. She's a great student, but she gets very tired from the syllable cards. So I do the new cards separately, and then I'll do something like this, just kind of review all of the other words. And she is just, reading the words and putting them in the correct category. That's it. And these are so simple and fast to make. So, and also over here, you can try to switch the template and show all if you want to try that. And of course, all the different themes down here. All right. This is another activity. One of my students has a difficult time with CVC versus vowel, consonant, E. So I just did something like this for him just to kind of break it up. This is just a really quick activity, just a little riddle. And I would read the riddle to him. He's in level 3. Yeah, and so forth. And I have him read both. And then let's see, the syllable sort, level 3. This is just another syllable sort. Yeah, just, and so this is what I do a lot of times is well, not this one, I'm sorry. Let me find, this is just review cards level 1 through M. And my students just like this. It just kind of gives them something else instead of just the syllable cards, which can be boring for them. And it's kind of nice to do something different. And then let's see, the blends. And a lot of times I do my syllable cards on the computer like this. It does take time initially to go through, and you have, this is all the blends. Now this one is not lesson ready. It just has, and I'm giving to you, so they're all in I think they're all in order as we see them in the level 1 reading book. And you would have to shuffle them. And but it's really nice because you can, if you're reading a word like clam and they ask you what is a clam, then you can go over here to elements and put in clam, and you can see graphics. I usually go to photos, and we talk about what a clam is. And I was actually telling Mona, sometimes I'll leave this up. You have to be careful because I know they're not supposed to be picture reading, but if you're trying to teach them a few words out of the 30 syllable cards you're doing, I will have a few left up, leave, a few up there just so that they know the meaning, understand what it is. Yeah, but not very many, just a couple. All right, let's see here. And then here is so this is a beach board game, and this is something I made on Canva, and I imported it into playing cards. And I don't do games at every lesson. I might do it like at the end of a level, or if it's a student's birthday, or if they've been working really hard. It just depends. And this is level 1. This is level 2, early level 2. And they have these over here that you can these little playing the what do you call them? The little game pieces over here, and you've got the little surfer guy and the popsicle. And how I made that was I went to Canva, and let me find, I think it might be here. Let me go back. So I just went to Canva and I looked for I went over here to elements and I searched beach background. And I looked for something where I could put probably like a lot of fun stuff, like something like this. Then you enlarge it, and then you would find a game board, and you might find something like, I like the ones that are colored like that, and then you can change the color up here. And then you can add whatever you want, the text to it. And then you can start adding the people. Like you can put kid beach. And there's all kinds of neat stuff that comes up, like these two little kids. They could be swimming in the ocean like that. And the kids just love that. So, yeah. So that's this game, and here's the die up here. And the only thing is I ask you whenever you get this is to make a copy of it, because if you don't, then somebody else might change, like they could delete things on here. And so whenever you get it, go to edit table. Then over here, go to room options at the very bottom. Click on that. And then you want to, where it says copy room, copy it. Change the name, like you could put whatever you want. And then you could even export it, and it will export to your downloads or desktop. I'm not sure where it would download on your computer, but then you have it, and you can still change whatever you want on your own. Yeah. All right. So let's go back here. That's the beach game. Connect 4 is probably the most popular game with my like fourth, fifth, sixth graders. And they love this. They use their little pieces here. And recall and shuffle just puts all the cards back in place here. So, and I just made this. I went to Canva and let me see if I can show you where I made that. Let's see here. It's right here, something like this. So I just used a wooden background, and if you go over here to elements, this is a nice background. Wood desk, and go to photos. There's lots of nice wood images that you can use for backgrounds. And then I just made this just kind of using lots of pieces like this basically. And I would, yeah. So that is Connect 4, and that's a lot of fun. Kids love that. But again, I don't do that at every lesson. And then there's a little Go Fish game. It's kind of fun.
Paige,
Yes.
when you're playing these games with the cards, do you have it just displayed on your desktop and you're doing all the moving, or are you sharing the link somehow with the kids so they're also able to interact with it?
So it depends. Like with this Go Fish game, you can share the link with them. So you would
Okay.
click on players, and then you would invite players, and you would put this in the chat, and they would open it, and then they can drag their cards down here where I can't see their cards and they can't see my cards. Now
Okay.
with this game here, the beach game, I do not share it with them. I just give them remote control.
Okay. All right. I
And
haven't been on Zoom for a while, so I forgot about the remote control.
yeah, yeah. So that's all I do for that. All right, let me just close out some of these. All right, now go back. So that is reading. So like I said, if you don't mind, please make a copy before you do anything with these, especially the last three. The one on Canva, I just said make a copy because anytime that I make something to use with my students, I always make a copy first. And the reason is because I do a lot of writing. I kind of use these like a chalkboard, like I'm teaching in class. And, I might, with this page, I might add a page here and go over here and just, talking about something, the spelling of something or the, how it's written, whatever. I do that a lot with them. So I always make a copy, and then I always put it in their individual folders. I have a folder on Canva for each of my students. Yeah. So, and there's no limit to how much you copy. So I make copies over just lots of things. Yeah. So down here, morphology. Something that I do with morphology is the first day, I will introduce it. I might have, I usually do this, and I just kind of do something fun like that, guess the morpheme meaning. And I just go over here to full screen. That's what I did. And for this, I just went up to effects and put it on animate. You can kind of play around with that. And I talk about the words. I'll say biology, and they'll repeat biology, and I'll tell them it's the study of life, and they'll repeat that, the study of life. And then a biologist is a person who studies life, and biography is a book about a person's life. Autobiography, you get the idea. And then we look at all of the words. I will bold the morpheme that we're learning. And then I go down here, and this is actually should not be there. It should be covered up. So this is just not lesson ready. I haven't prepared it, but it would be covered up, and I would ask them, what do you think BIO means? And they would say life. Normally they understand by then. So then the next day we come back to this page, and we look at this, and I'll repeat all of the words, and they'll say them after me. And then I'll have them explain two of the words to me using the word life. And then maybe the third day, they'll do the other two words. And then after that, we will go to word wall and do a little fill in the blank activity. And I made this on Canva and I just imported it. And then they would, I would usually read this to them and these as well. And then they would match them all. The biologist, I have a final exam in biology. And then submit. And then the last day, I will do a little crossword puzzle with them. And for this, I just have them spell the morpheme. Like for one across, the study of life, biology, they would usually say, and here they're written down here too, biology, and they would say BIO, and I would spell the rest of it. Okay, so that's, and then here's just another little activity for suffix ed that I do with my kids. These are all down here. They would read it and put it in the correct category. And then I would just put page 1 on my lesson plan. And you can duplicate and make as many of these as you want. Yeah. So these are grouped. If you see this, if you ungroup it, then you can change it. You might be able to actually make it. You actually can change it with it, grouped as well. So that's nice. All right, so that's that. Verbal expression, I just have a lot of different activities here. I've got months of the year. You can read with your students, help them learn the months, counting words and sentences. This is something I do with my student in the Kickstart program, Mona's program, and she has her cubes in front of her. She's virtual. And then I have them here. We pull them down, one for each word. And then this is something that I made with Canva, but I imported it into playing cards. It's Preppy the squirrel, and we talk about the prepositions. Preppy is on the lily pad. Preppy is by the tree. Preppy is in the tree, and so forth. Yeah, that's just a little fun thing to do with that. So this is just kind of an example of something, instead of using the boom cards, which takes a lot of time, you can just easily make these little, just like the boom cards, except it's on Canva. And this is just something I was going over fact and opinion with my students. It wasn't a quiz. We were just kind of talking about the difference between fact and opinion. And let's see, syllable sort. One of my students, my most severe student, he's at the end of level 3. He just started level 4 actually. We have to do a syllable sort at every lesson, because he's doing great, but it just took him a long time to get it. And as you can see, I do a lot of writing on these. And then the last thing is just some review cards. One of my students' favorite things to do for the review cards, this takes a lot of time, to be honest with you. It does take a lot of time, but my student loved this, Jonathan, and the little doors, and they would open. And so this is obviously level 1, but yeah, he loved doing that. And you can use it for any level, different cards. And then little task cards. This is something that I do after I've explicitly taught the student, like proper nouns, direct object, verbs, and so forth. This is the homophones 2 and 2. So just a little review at the end. And then homophones. Oh, this is something that I made. So I'm going to show you real quick how to make something like this. So I just have a blank page here and I go over to elements and I put in comic background. There's lots of backgrounds that go to graphics, and you can pick just about anything. There's so many. You can pick one of these, and then you can add your own things to it. Yeah. And so this is something that one only has two. Let me go back to if I go to I was looking for the other one. I'm not sure. Here's another one that I do, suffix ER, that I just made with Canva. And we do one of these at every lesson, just, after they've learned that, and they would read this and put it in the correct category. Like so, yeah. So I think that's about it. Let's see, let me go back to, and then the settings, I do have a, so for the playing cards IO website, it's, for me, it's always been the most challenging. So I had to kind of do a lot of trial and error to figure out what size for the game boards, what size for the cards and the letter tiles. And I wrote those down for you because I keep them and I look at them all the time. And I was just going to show you on the, let's see here, let me go to the playing cards website. You can, these are just my activities on playing cards. You can, one thing that I have here is like for tracking, I made the background here on Canva. I had a wooden background. I just added this blue rectangle at the bottom. I imported it using those settings. And then I made little letter tiles. And it's really easy to change. You just go to edit table over here to your cards for each lesson. You can change them and you can add or delete letters, I'm sorry. Yeah. And I always have them up here like this, and I have them help me put them in alphabetical order, and they'll help me. I usually move them as we do it together. Oops, I forgot B. But you got the idea. Whoops. Yeah. All right. Is that helpful? I hope I helped some of you, gave you guys some ideas. Yeah. Do you have any questions about anything?
This is great, Paige. Thank you. Wonderful
You're
ideas.
so welcome. So welcome. Yeah, this is just something as you can see, I do a lot of writing like I am teaching, in a classroom, using using Canva a lot. And my student was really having a hard time with the 2, 2, and 2. I first started just teaching her the TO and the TWO. That's it. We did that for a long time. And then now we just added the TOO also with it. And she got it. She's doing great. But yeah, it can be a tricky one. Yeah. So what questions can I answer? Any questions?
I am a little intimidated by Canva. I've tried to use it and have had, what is the best way, do you think, to start using it? Like, because they are wonderful. I would love to use stuff like that. But I'm just not sure how to use it. What is the best way to kind of get started with it?
I would say, no, let me do something. I would just go ahead and create an account, and you can do a free account, I think, for 30 days, but you get the pro version for 30 days, which is what I have. A lot of the good pictures are on the pro account. So, and then I would just create a custom image. Let me see here. Let me go back to the home. Let me share. If if I go back to the home page right here, it won't look like this. But what you want to do is you want to find where it says create or I'm not sure what it will say, but but over here, create. And then I always go down to custom size. These are my most, and you can take screenshots of whatever I'm teaching. I should have told you that at the beginning. I'm sorry if there's anything you want to take a screenshot. These are my most commonly used sizes that I use. So that's why they come up. This one I use for the big wide 1920 by 1080 on Canva. And so I would just start with, if you're doing like an 8x8, you could do that. And then over here, they have templates. I would just kind of, I think, click right here and it'll go away. And then you have this blank slate right here. So you want to go up to background color, click on that. You can pick any color you want, any of these, or you can like go to the plus sign here and you can click somewhere in here. If you want to go down here, change it to the pinks, maybe click a pink, a lighter pink, any color you want. And then you can X out of that and then go to maybe get a shape here and you can see all the shapes. Click on a square and you can say you want to just put the square down here. And everything saves automatically for you. It's if you leave, close it out and you come back, it will be on your home page. So you might have that there like that. Then you might want to go to text. Here you can change the text. There's so many fonts. You can duplicate the page like this and you can just change one thing on it, or you can just add a page. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of if you had this like this. Let's say you were doing, put this on here. And if it ever goes behind here, you just want to go to position and make sure it's in the front, but it's already in the front. And then say, you want to do like that. Maybe get a picture of a clam. Like that. And if it's a picture like, let's look at the photos. Say it's a picture like this, okay? And you just want the clam. You can go up to background remover, and it depends. Sometimes it doesn't work very well, but like this one it did. So you can just put the clam there. And then if you want to put your cursor here and just click and drag all of this, and you can group them together so that then you can minimize, make it smaller, make it bigger. You can lock it so it can't move. Yeah, and then that's about it. So.
Thank you so much. This has been really, really helpful. I love the ideas. You're amazing, like a wizard.
Thanks, Jen.
I'm recording this. I'll send it to you. But Zoom, after a while, it'll just go away, the recording. So I will send it to you guys, but don't pass it on to anyone. Did y'all get anything out of it? Like would you use it?
Yeah, tell me what.
I have a question. It was super helpful to see all of this. This is great. Do you have any tips for like doing some of the like these are all great additional activities, but any like online tips to how to do like some of the normal routines? Do you know, like, could you share any of that since you
tell me like what you're thinking, like what part?
Honestly, I don't know. I've been mainly working with students in person and I'm going to transition to online. So I'm just trying to like think ahead to like, since you've been doing it, like what's the best way to present?
I will tell you that I have a document camera, but I don't use my document camera. It just depends sometimes, but I just don't use it anymore. I used it like for the first year, then I realized I can do everything without my document camera. So I do a lot of, let me just show you one other thing that I go to. I'm going to go to the home page here, and here's the home page. You just go to home. And over here, you can see all of my, so my folders are actually, these are not all of my folders. These are my starred folders. So the most important folders. My students are here, and like handwriting, if I need to show my student how to make a capital T. He forgot how to make a capital T and the sentence starts, there it is right there. So, so here is I just pull this up really quick. I go over to tools, I get the draw, and I usually keep it on red, and I can show him. Yeah, with this, it's super easy. And I just use my mouse. I have a laptop. That's what I use. And so I'm just trying to think, like for the intro activities, I gave you some ideas for the virtual, I mean for the visual and auditory reviews. You can just do the cards, you know, like you are doing in person, and they can see them. Yeah, I'm just trying to think how else to you know, I think it's best for the students to have a laptop where they can pull their screen down a little bit and I can watch them. Some of my students have a desktop, and I ask the parents to get a document camera so I can watch them write. So they do that because it's really hard with a desktop to see them writing unless they have a document camera. And trying to think the other. And if you ever want to contact me, my email is on that. Let's see here. It's here.
Today's the one I sent them, right?
Yeah.
You're in there.
So I'm going to give you all this, and there's my email. Please contact me if you have any questions or if I can help you. I would be glad to help you. Just contact me, and yeah, I'd be happy to help you if you want me to help you edit some of these activities, or if you want me to help you make a game for playing cards. Like I said, playing cards is the trickiest. I think it's a little bit, it's just can be a little challenging, but it's great to use because the thing with Canva is all, if you notice, like it's always outlined, and they don't have that on playing cards, which is nice if you want to move the objects.
Is that a paid website too? Playing cards?
Well, playing cards is, you don't have to pay. I think I paid, it's like $50 a year, maybe. I'm not sure. I did, and the reason is because if you go to their homepage, the problem with playing cards is if you go to, and they just changed this maybe 6-8 months ago, where they had a paid version. It used to be all free. And these activities would go away after 30 days. They would delete them. So you had to download everything to your computer, or they would be gone in 30 days. So of course I was always worried that I was going to lose things. So now I have a folder on my desktop of other activities, but these are the ones that I've been using that I probably use the most. I haven't imported anything else. So yeah, but you either have to download or pay. Yeah.
Question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I do online, obviously not as well as this with all of your amazing Canva, but I think one of my biggest struggles is like the materials everywhere of the students behind the screen. When you're in person, you can kind of like organize it. And when they are virtual on their own, do you ever have them do like the IMF page like on the screen, or do you always have them bring out their student workbook and they're doing that on their own?
You're always doing it, yeah, on in person.
It,
But I do have that in my contract that to have a nice cleared area, no clutter. It still doesn't work. I don't think they read those contracts all the time.
yeah.
But yeah, it definitely makes a big difference because you can get a lot more done if they're organized. I mean, you could talk to the parent and just let them know that, you could definitely, because, I tell my parents that I can teach something in 60 seconds to my students. If they, take multiple bathroom breaks or take a long time to find their reading book, then, I can't teach them everything in that lesson. So, and usually the parents are like, oh, I want to make sure that, you're able to teach them everything. So, that's something that you could do. But yeah, that's really hard. That can be, mhm.
Some students are better than others, but one clearly the executive functioning is and the ADHD is. But I just didn't know if like you ever just, but you always have them bring out the materials and still.
Yeah, they always have their books, in front of them. They're doing it. Yeah, and I just watch them. So.
Great. Yeah, that's what I do. I mean, it works, but it's a
I
struggle
know what
sometimes.
no, I know what you mean. I definitely understand. Yeah, for sure.
But
Well,
can
thank
you
you.
not put it on Canva? Like, can you not put all the words, the whole page, IMF page? And you showed me yesterday how to do can they do that?
Yeah, you mean the reading book?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do the reading book. Put the reading book. You would just have to scan, and I do that. I have not done all of them, but if you notice over here, I've got my SIS reading books, and I'm just basically scanning them as we go along. You
Show
know,
us one.
Okay, I'll show you. I'll do level one. This one I have pretty much, yeah, it's a lot. So, and if I go down to grid view, I can kind of see the whole thing. Um,
Wow.
yeah, and then I also will put in some, if I send a student something, I will send it to them. This was a eighth grade student, so she really wanted to learn the uppercase alphabet. But yeah, I just put that in there so that I know that I've sent that to them, and then I can make sure I cover it, make sure I have it, instead of using my document camera. And this is a sheet that I have for my level two that I created, level two and above. I have the uppercase alphabet at the top
Mm.
for my level two students. But and let me go back here. So yeah.
So you could use this instead of the book once in a while, not all the
Yeah.
time. It's
Yeah.
best for them to do it on the book, but
It's best for, I mean, to be honest with you, I do it with Jonathan. Sometimes because he's like, can I just use the book? And I'm like, okay, 'cause he's in level five. He's
yeah.
got and he's so tired. He's been doing this for 3 years. And I'm like, okay. None of my other students yet have asked. You have to be careful because once you start something with a student, they want to do it every single time. And Jonathan, I spoiled a little bit. And so yeah, definitely got to be careful with that. But
But if you tell them beforehand, this will be done at the end of the month or once in
yeah,
then
once
they
in a while.
know. Then they're pretty good about following rules. But you
Yeah,
have to put that rules in the beginning.
for sure, for sure. And I don't do games. Like I said, I don't do games at every lesson.
Yeah.
Um, I do have one student that my most challenging student, academically and behaviorally. And I just started something with him. He just started level four, and he doesn't like to say the sounds as he writes. And so I just started this with him. Every time I catch him doing something like saying the sounds as he writes, he gets a point. And then if I catch him not, then I get a point. And then if he has more points than me at the end, and I'll set a timer. I'm like, okay, I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes and before the lesson ends, and we do that connect four. anything to keep him. And he's going into, I think, 7th grade. He's not super young, but he's got ADHD and very impulsive. And yeah, so, and I've been working with him for a few years. He's a little slower as far as moving along. He's pretty severe. But yeah. So I don't do that with every student, but I kind of have to with him.
Can you print some of these games? The games that you have? Or you can't?
Yes, you could. Yeah, you could
I
probably
wonder.
print them. Yeah, and just use your own game pieces.
Yeah.
Mhm. And I'll show you. Let me show you just something that I let me see if I can find it for yeah, it's this right here. So with these games, this is just um the beach game. So I just took it from an empty background and I added all of these pieces to it, these kids, and then and I put wrote all of these up here. And then these are just some game boards that I have not finished yet that I've just been playing around with. I haven't actually worked on it in a while. But here's another one that I have in playing cards. It started like this, and then I decided to do marshmallows. And then I found these kids right here that were really cute. So, yeah, and that's the final version right there. And they have the game pieces are like a s'mores, this girl, um, the raccoon, and I have a fawn somewhere too. But yeah. So it does take some time, but all of these pieces are just things that I've added, even the little fireflies down here. Yeah. So that's fun. They like that too. It's a fun little game. Yeah.
So one of the things you can do is syllable cards, Ashley. Online, the syllable cards. I think Jen did it and her student really liked it. But she did it on word wall, right? Jen, did you?
Yes, I did it on Wordwall. I just typed them into I think it's it's visual, I can't remember. There's some kind of cards and I just typed each one in and then changed it to the serif font and then just did it that way. And they said it was easier for them to read the letters
Oh,
and it actually made less errors than the cards. So I'm not sure if it's brighter. I'm not sure what the is, but yes, it worked really well.
That's a great idea. Thank you.
and you're getting all these games from her, all the ones she showed. So that's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paige.
Lots of freebies. And also Phoebe, I know I didn't give her all of those. So make
I'll
sure.
give her the recording. She'll have to look at it, watch it quickly, otherwise she may
Hey,
not.
if you guys have any questions, definitely email me and I'd be happy to Zoom with you to help you. Yeah, any questions you have. Yeah,
Thank you. This is really amazing. I really appreciate your time and expertise.
I'm
Yes,
so
thank
glad.
you.
I'm so glad it helped. Good, you're
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you.
Yeah,
That was
thank
really
you.
wonderful. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you,
Thank
Paige.
you. Bye, Mona.
bye.
Bye,
Have a
Sharon.
great.
Bye,
See you
Bye.
next
Tawana.
week, Ashley.